I mean, seriously, Gibson, what the fuck is this? How is it possible on a 3,000 pounds guitar? How the fuck is it possible? This is a 3,000 pounds guitar, and it has this problem here. Whoever checked the binding on this guitar should have said this needs to go back and somebody needs to finish it here. Because it's just fucking unacceptable. I can't imagine this happening on a PRS guitar. Such a small thing. The guitar itself is wonderful. That's why I bought it. It's just an amazing guitar. Sounds great, looks great. But how can that happen? How the fuck can that happen? Sorry. That guy, inspected by. Why did that guy let this guitar leave the factory like this? Just fucking 5 minutes job, and this is a fucking perfect guitar. The best guitar, one of the best 335s I ever had in my life. It sounds so good, it's just like... It sounds so bloody good. Guys, Gibson Memphis, you did a bloody amazing job on designing these pickups, designing the titanium bridge, but please spend a bit more time on quality control and cheers. By the way, this is a single malt scotch. I really like it. Talisker. Guys at Gibson, I love this guitar so much. I'd buy it again. Even with that little finish there, I don't really care. With the little finish problem, I don't really care. It's a fantastic guitar, but it shouldn't have happened. Seriously, who is that guy? Who is that guy? Gibson, tell me the name of that guy. I wanna have a word with him. That guy, inspected by. Why did that guy let this guitar leave the factory like this? Just fucking 5 minutes job, and this is a fucking perfect guitar. The best guitar, one of the best 335s I ever had in my life. It sounds so good, it's just like... Hey guys, Rolly here, and most importantly, this beautiful 2018 Gibson ES-335 figured. Be prepared, this is gonna be a long video. No PC here, no political correctness, no sales or marketing bollocks or anything. This is my that honest review about this guitar. Pros and cons, all things what I do like, what I don't like. I'm gonna talk about this, so be prepared, it's gonna be a long one. I bought this guitar about 2 months ago, brand new, so this is a brand new guitar, because I'm a huge fan of 335 guitars. These are my absolute favorite models from Gibson, and I never had the red one actually. I had so many. I had natural ones, I had sunburst one, I have the historic ones, I even have the cheaper models like the studio ones, I had Epiphone ones. I had so many of these. I really like these semi-hollow Gibson guitars. It's just perfect for my playing style. So I thought, okay, let's buy one of these because I just wanted to have I just wanted to have the feel, you know, the brand new guitar feel. Nothing wrong with it. Yeah, so I bought it 2 months ago, and I spent about 2-3 hours on this guitar every day because I just love it. I just perfect for my style, and there are a few things what I really don't like on this guitar. Really don't like, and I can't accept to have these sort of problems on a £3,000 or I don't know $4,000 or something like that guitar. It's just not acceptable. Gibson, seriously, you can't do this. I'm gonna show you all these things: the negatives, the positives, the pros and cons, everything. But as always, start with the positive things. Positive things. The sound. The improvements what Gibson did on these guitars are amazing. All of them. Starting with the titanium bridge, the titanium saddles here. I think these saddles make a huge difference. Even acoustically, I don't know if it comes through the camera or not, but it really adds a very nice extra top end, extra presence. I don't know how much you can hear because the guitar is not plugged in anywhere now, but yeah, check. Lot of presence, lot of nice edgy feedbacks. And I never heard these before on the ES-335, so this is a massive improvement. Well done, Gibson, I really like that. And the whole guitar resonates really well. You know when you just play a guitar acoustically, you can play it hours and hours, and it gives this very nice positive vibe, this positive resonation. Yeah, I really like how does this guitar sound acoustically. So actually, when I bought it, I went into the shop on one of the biggest shops in the UK. I went in and tested a few of these. I really wanted this figured model, and I really wanted the red one. So they had about 2 or 3 in stock, and I didn't even plug them in, to be honest. I just took all 3 guitars with me into a little amp room, you know, a little silent room, and I was listening and playing on them acoustically because I just wanted to grab the guitar which has the best feeling acoustically without plugging in, which has most of the I'm always up for these overtones. These overtones, these acoustic overtones, these are the things I think that differentiate one guitar from the other. If the guitar has this, if the guitar gives you these extra sounds, but you can't expect, well, like a extra little something beside every note, it's just fantastic. That's what I was looking for. So that was the reason I picked up this one, this actual guitar, because this had most of them acoustically. So yeah, I think it's down to this new bridge because yeah, as I said, on the previous models I didn't have this. I didn't have this feeling. This sounds dramatically better acoustically. Now, other thing is weight. To be honest, I never cared about the weight. It's just not about me. It just, for me, the acoustic sound is 100 times more important than the actual weight of the guitar, because it's a few grams here and there, and even when you say, oh, this is a heavy one or this is a lightweight one, the difference is not that big, but the acoustic difference and then the sound difference makes, and the playability difference. Now here, that's the thing what I'm after, not about I don't care about weight. So, but this one is, I think it's somewhere in the middle. Nothing special. It's not a ultra lightweight or not. It's not a heavy bastard. It's just a very nice guitar, and yeah, I quite like it, as I said. One more thing, and this is I can't really understand it. It just I can't really understand this. All three guitars that I took into that booth just to test them had horrible action. I mean, the playability and the action was awful on all three of them. How is that possible? How can any shops or any guitar brands sell a guitar like that? I mean, I clearly don't understand. I don't care if it's a big shop with 200 guitars or a small little shop with 20 guitars, or I don't know. I don't care. When you sell a fucking £3,000 worth of guitar, you shouldn't give it to the customer with a horrible action on it. I mean, all three of these, when I took them into were absolutely awful playable. The action was quite high, just because obviously it needed a bit of love, a bit of work on the bit of truss rod adjustment. It's not a big thing. It's about, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes job, and they do it hanging on the wall, and then hang it on the wall, and then that's it, and job's done. And anybody who goes into the shop and tries the guitar, then I don't know. It's much easier to sell, and it shows the justice of the guitar. Now, yeah, that was one of the reasons why I didn't plug the guitar in, because when I was playing on it, I thought, oh my god, I need to spend about, I don't know, if I buy this guitar, I need to spend about, I don't know, 1 hour on it, just on the setup. Oh yeah, fortunately I can do all of these things because I've been playing on guitar for I don't know 30 years now, or something like that. And I had so many guitars, like all the Fenders, all the Gibsons, all the PRSs. So I know how to set up a guitar, and I do it quite regularly, almost every month, or almost sometimes every week. So it's not a big thing for me. But when I spend £3,000 on a guitar, obviously that should be set up perfectly. That's the case. I don't care which brand is it. I don't care which shop is it. I don't care who is the owner of the shop. I don't care if okay, I think it's bloody ridiculous. You go into a shop which has 200 guitars, but there are only two or three salesmen around, and you have to wait about half an hour just to have a word with anyone. So it's clear why don't they have time for all the guitars to set them up or something like that. But again, me as a customer, I don't care. And if I sell this guitar, or if I sell any of my guitars, I'm just not happy selling a guitar with a rubbish setup, with rubbish strings on it. I just spend the time, make sure it's perfect. It's not cool. It's really not cool paying £3,000 for a guitar which has a horrible setup. Okay, go through that. Now, yeah. So let's go through the guitar from the top to the bottom. Let's start with the tuning pegs. In 2018, Gibson installed these new Grover machine heads. So in the previous year, they had the big milk bottle style one, by I think these called Keystone. So slightly thinner, I think slightly sexier. These tuning pegs, I quite like them, to be honest. I think it's the same mechanics or the same style, or nothing special. How it works, it's just this top bit. But I quite dig them. I'm so happy with them, and yeah, that's nothing else here apart from the aged logo and the aged diamond. So it's not that silver shiny new looking Gibson logo here, but this vintage one, it's a bit yellowed. It's more like the ones from the historic VOS line, but I quite like it. I think it's more authentic. Or Yeah, probably it comes from because the binding, as you can see, the binding now all over around the guitar, even on this figured line, are a bit yellowed or a bit aged, and I think with that aged binding, that logo, I think, just perfect for it. Yeah, and well, it's such a shame the bone should be yellowed a bit because it looks that bone nut looks a bit brand new while the binding is a bit aged. But here you go. Probably in 2019 or 2020 they realize, oh, let's age, or let's make the nut look vintage, or I don't know. But here you go. I quite like it. I quite like this aged binding. It looks cool. I think, as far as I remember, I'm not entirely sure, but as far as I remember, the binding was white, very white on the previous range in 2017, 2016. Even on the figured models, the binding was white, while on this one is nicely aged. What I really like, and it suits the guitar really well. I like the other thing, yeah, in the specs. Now, when you go up to the Gibson website and check the specs of this guitar, this is the 2018 figure model. They emphasize the fretboard is dark rosewood. So not just rosewood, it's dark rosewood, which is interesting. It wasn't like this before, so I think they want to emphasize that we found some very nice dark rosewood for you, which is, I don't know, more exclusive. But I quite like it. So yeah, definitely dark, a just a little bit of light brown on it, a light brown thingy on it. Yeah. Let's go to the fretwork. Now, when I set this guitar up, I don't like when the action is too low. I like it somewhere in the middle. So when I bend the strings, it's easy, and the string doesn't slip under my finger, and I can tell you, and I can confirm, the fretwork is perfect. So there's no buzzing anywhere. I had this problem before with Gibson. I don't know. I can't really remember which year and which model was that, but the fretwork wasn't perfect on it, and that was a very expensive guitar as well. But on this, it's just perfect. Even with this quiet low action, there's no issues at all. So fretwork perfect. I'm very happy with it. Yeah, as I said, binding very nice. Rolled fingerboard edge is fantastic. That is just very well done. Neck shape. Neck shape is, I think, nothing different between the previous year. This is like middle C, or it's definitely not the slim taper on what I really didn't like. That was way too thin, and this is just a slightly bit chunkier, which is good. Yeah, I like this neck shape. Looks perfect. Yeah, great finish on it. As you can see, nice dark finish on it. Look at this, and yeah, the figuring on this guitar is just fantastic. Check it out. I kind of like everything on. How does it look? And yeah, so I was talking about the fretboard. That's fine. Next, great. And here comes something what is absolutely unacceptable. I mean, seriously, Gibson, what the fuck is this? How is it possible on a 3,000 pounds guitar? Seriously. Whoever checked this guitar out when it just, I don't know, it's just fucking unacceptable. How is it possible the finish here on the neck joint is actually not finished? So someone let this guitar go out from the Gibson factory with unfinished neck joint here. I don't know if it comes through the video, but here you can even see the glue. You can even see there's not much paint on it. But here comes something serious, guys. How the fuck is it possible? This is a 3,000 pounds guitar, and it has this problem here. It looks like someone who was working on the finish or the binding, or I don't know, but the paint here, where the neck joins to the body, looks awful. There's not much paint on it. I mean, seriously, I can see even the glue and everything. It's not been finished perfectly. Obviously, it won't come through with the camera, but guys, how the fuck is this possible on the $3,000 guitar? This is quite obvious thing. And here you go. It comes with a certificate. It comes with this. I just wanted to show you this pre-pack checklist. Top, back, sides, neck, fretboard, bridge saddle, packhead, binding, hardware. Now, whoever checked the binding on this guitar should have said this needs to go back and somebody needs to finish it here, because it's just fucking unacceptable. I can't imagine this happening on a PRS guitar. I'm so sorry. I had so many PRS guitars from the same price range and never ever happened anything like this before. So yeah, the neck joint here looks awful. Somebody just fucking didn't finish it, or I don't know. But seriously, it's called quality control. How could this go through the quality control at the Gibson factory? How? It's perfectly done here. It's perfectly done here on this side. Beautifully done. Paint is great. Binding great. There's no glue there, nothing. But it just looks fucking ridiculous. It's about a five minutes job. Seriously, it's not more than 5 minutes. Just get rid of the glue from there and then add some extra paint there. Or I don't know. How is this possible from a guitar from this legendary brand, Gibson? You know, one of the biggest legend on the market, the biggest fucking semi-hollow body builder on this planet. They sell, I don't know, they build I don't know how many thousands of guitars, but it's just such a small thing. Such a small thing. The guitar itself is wonderful. That's why I bought it. It's just an amazing guitar. Sounds great, looks great, but how can that happen? How the fuck can that happen? So when I was testing those 3 guitars in that booth, and obviously I picked that problem up immediately. I was watching and I was thinking, Mamma mia, why did they do this? This sounds the best, but this has this issue. Because the other 2 guitars didn't have this problem. So obviously quality control worked well there, because those guitars were finished there perfectly. I didn't find any problems on those guitars, but this sounded better. So that's why I selected this, because I thought, okay, here is this little issue, but well, what can I do? This sounds 2 times better than the other 2. Here you go. This guitar sounded much better than the other 2, but this had this little issue there. So I thought, oh my God, why am I in this situation? But in that moment, I already decided I'm gonna buy this guitar because I like the sound and like the look. But here, this is a bit annoying. This should not happen on a 3,000 pounds guitar. I'm sorry. This is my dead honest opinion, and also other thing. So two negative things so far. One is the action was awful. Sorry. This is a serious problem. This should not happen on a 3-ground semi-hollow guitar, which sounds good, plays great, and it has massive improvements. Obviously, they spent this much. I don't know how much time they spent on engineering this new bridge or working on these new titanium saddles and the pickups, because the pickups are wonderful. I mean, seriously massive improvement on these pickups. I'm gonna show you in a few minutes, but that should not happen on it because it's just seriously 5 minutes job. Okay, another thing. What I found after I don't know playing on this guitar a few weeks here, and then once light showed up here, there's a little problem with the painting. Another issue what I could never get on a PRS guitar. On a PRS guitars are fantastic with the finishes and the quality control. I think at least 2 times better than Gibson guitars, because this one here, it's impossible to show it on the camera, but I can see it here on this little area. There's a problem with the paint. It's not as intact as here. Yeah, I can feel it with my fingertips here. Something dodgy was going on with the paint here or with the wood, but everywhere else is very nicely finished. But here is a problem with it. I tried to show it. Oh no. It's about this area is about the size of my pick here. Yeah, and the paint here is not perfect, not at all. Yeah, apart from these two negative things, these two cons or these two problems, I haven't found any other issues with the guitar. Let me plug it in. Let me plug it in for you. So clean sound. Front pickup. I really like the sound. These new it's called MHS Memphis. MHS lie as Memphis Historic Specs or something. Wonderful. I think front pickup great, bridge. Can you hear this bridge pickup that has this very nice edgy cut through sound? But if I play lighter, it's very warm. It sounds like a neck pickup. Unbelievable. Very, very dynamic pickup. So the bridge pickup can sound beautiful, nice and warm, but can cut through like it's fantastic. I like that. The same thing with the phone. Wonderful pickups, absolutely. I really dig the sound, and this guitar, especially this guitar, it sounds so good. Guys, Gibson Memphis, you did a bloody amazing job on designing these pickups, designing the titanium bridge. But please spend a bit more time on quality control, and you guys gonna be the best guitar factory on this planet. Cheers. By the way, this is a single malt Scotch. I really like it. Talisker. It just helps me to play, much more bluesier. Let's put some heat on it. I like the sound. Wonderful. Let's play something nice and clean. Guys at Gibson, I love this guitar so much. I'd buy it again. Even with that little finish there, I don't really care. With that little finish problem, I don't really care. It's a fantastic guitar, but it shouldn't have happened. Seriously. Who is that guy? Who is that guy? Gibson, tell me the name of that guy. I wanna have a word with him. That guy, inspected by. Why did that guy let this guitar leave the factory like this? Just fucking 5 minutes job, and this is a fucking perfect guitar. The best guitar, one of the best 335s I ever had in my life. It sounds so good, it's just like it plays great, sounds great. Can you even on this very low level, it produces those very nice overtones. That's what I was talking about. It's probably goes by the bridge. It sounds so bloody good. Sounds so good. Now, yeah, let's talk about another thing. Let me show you the case. Let me show you this beautiful hard case. Came with this lovely hard case. Now, and it came with this. How cool that is. Very good quality strap with a nice Gibson logo. I tell you what, I like this. I like the case, I like the strap. I like this little toolkit that came with it. I really like it. You know what? Everything apart from those two blemishes, those two small little things, everything else about this purchase was perfect, and I'm ultra happy with it because the guitar sounds great, looks great. Case, certificate, strap, little toolkit, everything else just great. So, guys, here you go. I know it was a bit longer review than you expected, but cheers. Rock music, loud and powerful, especially when you got a guitar like that. Cheers.